Good night, good evening, Liebchens. It is August 19th, I believe, and I feel compelled to make this movie for any number of reasons. First of all, a little housekeeping, just to make sure that I'm not keeping secrets from any of you. My stage name is Salem Suicide. I'm not going to give my real name because that's not important. That's not legerdemain to what I'm about to say, but here are some facts for all of you. I am a male to female transsexual. I had my surgery 2 years and 6 months ago, and those facts are going to bear on what I'm about to carry on about. And so this is something that makes me very angry and something that I can't stand for anymore. So here goes. Tonight I'm going to carry on about the truths of being transsexual. There's a lot of people out there, persons that I suppose I could consider to be my fellow travelers, my compatriots, who have the wrong idea, the wrong impression about all this, and I'm going to try and set it right. And there's also going to be plenty of young people out there, early transitioners, who could use and learn from what I'm about to say, and I hope that I can help them out as well. So here goes. Some truths about being transsexual. 1. Sexual reassignment surgery, SRS, the surgery, the stereotypical, the legendary sex change surgery, which I had 2 years and 2 months ago, does not change everything about you or make your life perfect. Only you can do that, okay? Here's the thing. It's a surgical procedure, okay? It's, if you want to think of it this way, it is the ultimate cosmetic surgery, okay? It's like a nose job or a brow plane or getting, you know, your breasts done or anything like that, okay? It's what you do with what emerges from that change, with what has changed about your body after you've had that surgery. It's not the surgery itself, it's just one more procedure, okay? And it doesn't change anything about yourself at all, okay? Except you have to go to the bathroom sitting down now. You have to urinate sitting down if you're a male to female transsexual like me. And let me tell you something, folks, that is a tremendous complication, a tremendous burden. It's not the bed of roses that everyone would have you think it is. It's a hassle, it's complicated, and it's a pain in the bottom, okay? Point number 2, being transsexual doesn't change who you are or who you're attracted to. There's a lot of very ignorant people out there that figure that they must break up marriages or stable relationships, that they must shuffle off a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a wife or a husband simply to do the change, to be authentic in whatever change they make. And I should preface these remarks by saying I'm speaking from the point of view of a male to female transsexual, not a female to male. I can't comment on their lives, their feelings, and it would be wrong of me to even try. I respect you for what you've done, for your change, my comrades in arms, but I can't speak for you, okay? Only you can speak for yourself, okay? And that's one of the reasons why I do these little talks. When I started on my change, on my transition, it's a phrase that a lot of you are going to hear. Supporters are going to hear this. Young transitioners are going to hear this. So it goes. One thing you're going to hear is transition. Transition this, transition that. And transition takes at minimum 2 years, okay? That's when you change. The surgery doesn't change you. No one thing changes you, okay? Doesn't change who you're attracted to, doesn't change who you're in love with, and it shouldn't change, okay? To be transsexual, to do it right, doesn't mean you break up your marriage, you break up your relationship. Doing that is responding to some external factor that has nothing to do with transition, and in my opinion is not the smartest decision that anyone can make, okay? Doesn't work that way. We're human beings first. Human beings need people around me. Point number 3, okay? Male to female transsexuals like me do not have to look or act weak to be female. Anyone that has any doubts about that, go and look up their old Russian grandmother or go and see The Expendables 3, Ronda Rousey's big screen debut. None of those women are weak or frail or timid or anything else, okay? They're just people, okay? And they are harder, they can be harder, more masculine, less frail than many of the men I know, okay? You don't have to do this. And if I can plug for a film for a minute, go and see Expendables 3. You'll see Ronda Rousey, a world champion ladies kickboxer, look just drop dead gorgeous and clean out plenty of people. In fact, the movie takes advantage of her being able to do that, okay? So there's that. You don't have to be weak. And anyone who thinks that you have to look or act weak to be female, to pull off transsexual transition, well, that's as bad a decision as breaking up a relationship, okay? And as I've said, in my opinion, a very unwise decision, a very foolish decision, okay? Point number 4, okay? Male to female transsexuals, you're going to miss testosterone, okay? Especially if you're the least active sort of person. I've been engaged in vigorous sports my entire life. My physical strength matters to me. Now, there's going to be some people out there that say, I don't care if I'm weak. Women are not strong. Reference my previous remark. You know, go and ask Ronda Rousey, a world champion kickboxer, about being weak, okay? You will, male to female transsexuals, you will miss being able to go and do whatever you want to do, okay? And I don't care, you know, oh, women don't pull cars around. I have. I've done that, okay? Or women don't go to the gym and lift a ton of weight, okay? And I've done that too, okay? What happens if you want to pick up a full laundry hamper? What happens if you want to take the lid off the ketchup bottle? That sort of thing. You know, it'd be nice to have a little oomph, a little go forward, a little power to do that, and you have a lot less of it without testosterone in your life. This is what I've known. Learn from my experience. 2.5 years post-op, and I miss testosterone, okay? If there was a way that I could have had my SRS and kept my testosterone, I would have done it. I would have done it in a heartbeat, okay? There would have been no debate, no decision to make, okay? Point number 5. Every transsexual has to make choices about how much you live your gender, your new gender, and it is a new gender. And it makes me very, very angry when people say, oh, I was a woman or I was a man all my life and I've just now had surgery to correct that. No, that's stupid. That's making things overly romantic, and romanticizing the change is one of the poorest decisions that any living person can ever make, because it's just surgery, okay? It's like deciding one day that you're going to be a punk rock person, okay? But you have to decide how much you're going to live your transition. And let me tell you something, folks. When you have to make a choice between starving to death and being homeless, or a little bit of detransition to take advantage of a skill that you have from your pre-transition life to get yourself a job, to get yourself into a good situation after you've had your surgery, after you've made the big change, it's not detransition, it's being smart, okay? It's taking advantage of what you know, what you can do, what you're able to do, okay? Taking advantage of your strengths as a person. You're not being dishonest with yourself, you're being realistic, okay? And that romanticized view of the change, of the transition, that people who have that romanticized view turn my stomach, okay? You don't have to be anything other than yourself. My 6th and my last point, and I bet you're waiting for the end of this, aren't you? So we're going to finish up here quick. We do not live in some fantasy world about what your life is going to be like after transition, after SRS, okay? Transition doesn't change anything. You change anything, change your life. I came out to an old friend and I told him what I had done. And he said, well, does this mean that now that you've had surgery, you're going to be a showgirl? No. If I was going to become a showgirl, I would have already become that showgirl long before a surgeon's knife came anywhere close to me. Okay? So, now I'm going to wrap this all up and I'm going to tell you. SRS, transsexual transition, is something you do to make yourself right in your head. Okay? and it's best thought of as a period at the end of a sentence to finalize a whole bunch of changes that you have made in yourself, okay? Surgery doesn't change you, okay? It's been my experience too that no doctor, no pill, no surgery, no therapy does as much for you as living your change, living your transition, interacting with people in the new gender, okay? The gender that you weren't born in, okay? There's a lot of people out there that say, I should have been born in that gender, and that's your opinion, okay? But if you believe in God, or if you believe in biological destiny, or wherever your beliefs take you, if you're a Muslim, if you're a Jew, if you're a Christian, or if you follow one of the world's other faiths, doesn't matter, okay? Whatever you believe in, whatever you believe caused you to become the living human being that you are, you were caused to become whatever gender, whatever anatomical sex you were at the point of birth, okay? If you were born male like I was, you decided that something had to change, okay, that's your mind chewing on the fact of your existence, nothing more, okay? There was some predestination, if you will. I'm uncomfortable with concepts like that, but it did take place. So, let me finish up. None of these special things, doctors, pills, surgery, or therapy, or any of those things will change you as much or as profoundly as you will change yourself. No surgery, no pill, none of that is going to make you automatically into something. You know, the moment that you take your first hormone tablet doesn't immediately change you into some supermodel. Here's a little bit of trivia for you young transitioners out there. Those hormones have to build up in your system. They don't do anything instantly. They do things over time, okay? I always worked with a doctor when I did my transition because I know, knowing the sort of person I am, that I would have taken like 6 months worth of hormones in an afternoon and probably killed myself. So I always followed doctor's instructions. So here's the punchline, folks. Transition, transsexual transition, male to female transition, whatever you want to call it, whatever term makes you happy, only you are going to make yourself happy. And having some romantic view of what transition is going to do for you, what pills and surgery are going to do for you, is wrong. You shouldn't have that romantic view. You should always try to have a pragmatic and realistic view, okay? So SRS will not change everything about you. Being transsexual doesn't change what you are. If you're attracted to men, you're attracted to men. If you're attracted to women, you're attracted to women. That's the way it is. SRS doesn't mean that it will change or that you have to change it, okay? Male to female transsexuals, okay, you don't have to be weak, timid, unassuming, bashful, meek, or mild to be a real woman. You just have to be yourself. Because there's as many different kinds of people in the world as there are people, probably more, okay? Male to female transsexuals, you are going to miss testosterone. I don't care what you tell me, what you tell yourself, what you tell anyone else. You will miss it, okay? So don't be a fool. Don't lie to yourself or other people. You're going to miss it, okay? Every transsexual has to make choices about their life and about what they're going to bring back from their pre-transition life into the one they live now. That's inevitable, and that's the way it is, okay? It's not detransition, it's being realistic, okay? And finally, as I've said a whole bunch, I know it's getting old, but I have to hit this point. Don't live in some fool's paradise. Be realistic, okay? When you have surgery, it doesn't mean that there's going to be people lining up at your door to try out your new organs. No, it doesn't. That doesn't work that way. If I might offer a little bit of observation from a life very well wasted, okay, the relationships between people, especially that ultimate level of intimacy, has a dynamics all its own that has nothing at all to do with what kind of genitalia you have, what kind of anatomy you have, okay? Don't live in a fool's paradise at all. So This is Salem Suicide, male to female transsexual, 2.5 years post-op, signing off for the night, and I bet you couldn't wait, could you?